In this video, we're going to look at two sets of ordered pairs and determine if each set of ordered pairs represents a function. We'll then plot each set, and our goal with doing that will be to get a visualization that's a little bit less abstract of what each of these sets is representing. Finally, we'll state the domain and range of each set of ordered pairs. So let's get started with our first set of ordered pairs. What we have written is a curly brace representing a set, and then inside there are four ordered pairs. And then it, of course, closes with another curly brace to show the set. So that first ordered pair is the ordered pair 1, 2. The second ordered pair is the ordered pair 2, 3. The third ordered pair is the ordered pair 3, 4. And the fourth ordered pair is the ordered pair 3, 5. So looking at those, let's look at the ordered pair 1, 2. So looking at the inputs, we're going to look and see if every input associates with exactly one output. And that will help us determine if this set of ordered pairs represents a function or not. So looking at these inputs, this first ordered pair has an input of 1. Our second ordered pair has an input of 2. Our third ordered pair has an input of 3. And then this fourth ordered pair also has an input of 3. So looking then at the outputs, I see that the input 1 associates with 2, and the input 2 associates with 3, but then I run into trouble here with the ordered pairs 3, 4, and 3, 5. That input of 3 associates with both 4 and 5. So a single input, 3, is associated with two outputs. So we can tell, based on that this set of ordered pairs does not represent a function. So let's summarize that. This set of ordered pairs does not represent a function. And as justification, we can state that the input 3 is associated with two outputs. And those two outputs are 4 and 5. Okay, so we've determined that this is not a function. Now, let's plot these ordered pairs just to get a visual of what this looks like. So I'll come to my rectangular coordinate system here, and I'm going to label these axes with x and y. I'm not explicitly given this, but these are the defaults for ordered pairs if I'm not given the variables. So from here, I'm going to scale these axes, and I have a 6 by 6 grid, so I'll have it go from -6 to 6. So I'll just mark off the third tick mark with a 3 on the x-axis, the third tick mark with a 3 on the y-axis, and then I'll do the same. Then I'll mark off -3 on the x-axis and -3 on the y-axis. Now I'm ready to plot these ordered pairs. So I'll go to the point 1, 2. So I'll go where x is 1 and y is 2, and I'll plot one of those ordered pairs. Then I'll go to the point 2, 3, so where x is 2 and y is 3. Then I'll plot that point. Then I'll go to the point 3, 4, so where x is 3 and y is 4. And then lastly, I'll go to the point 3, 5, so where x is 3 and y is 5. And I can see here that that input of 3 is associated with two outputs. I have a visualization of that. Now the last thing we want to do is state the domain and range here. So the domain for this set of ordered pairs is going to be the set of all possible inputs. And so looking at those inputs, I'm just going to list them. So there's only 4 points that are part of this relation. And I'm just going to list the inputs. So I need an input of 1, an input of 2, and an input of 3. And notice that I'm using set braces and separating these. There's no interval, there's no numbers in between these. It's only the numbers 1, 2, and 3. The range will be similar in that it's just going to be distinct numbers. So looking at the possible y values here, I have 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I'll list those numbers out. I'll list out 2, 3, 4, and 5. And again, those are inside curly braces and separated by commas. So let's go on to our second set of ordered pairs. And again, this set, so we have curly braces denoting a set, and then inside these curly braces we have 4 ordered pairs. We have the ordered pair 1, 2, we have the ordered pair -2, 2, we have the ordered pair 4, 7, and then we have the ordered pair -1, 0. So again, what we want to look at is we want to look and see if any of the inputs are associated with multiple outputs. So looking at our inputs, our first input is 1, and then we have an input of -2, an input of 4, and then an input of -1. So none of those repeat, and I can see that each input is then associated with just one output. So this set of ordered pairs is a function, or does represent a function. So this set of ordered pairs, let's summarize that, of ordered pairs does represent a function. And if we want to state why, we can say that each input is associated with exactly one output. Now, let's come down and plot these points. So I'll scale and label this grid again, and this time I need the 0.47 to fit, so I'm going to make sure that my y values include 7. So I'll label, and I need my x value to go 4 as the highest. Okay, so I'll label x and y for my variables, and then I'll label the x-axis so that each tick mark represents 1 unit. So I'm going to label off 3 and -3 on the x-axis at 3 tick marks and 3 tick marks to the right and then 3 tick marks to the left. And for y, I'm going to need to scale this a little bit differently, so I'll just make each tick mark worth 2. So I'm going to scale off 6 and -6, and those are happening at the 3rd tick mark, and then the above and then below the x-axis. So now I can plot these points. So to plot the point 1, 2, I'll go to where x is 1 and y is 2, and I'll plot that point. And again, keeping in mind that I scaled these axes differently. So I'm 1 tick mark over for x and 1 tick mark up for y, since the y units are 2. Now I'll plot the point -2, 2, so I'll go to where x is -2, and then where y is 2. And then I'll go to the point 4, 7, so I'm going to go to where x is 4, and then where y is 7 is going to be halfway between 6 and 8, so I'll go halfway between 6 and 8. And then lastly I need -1, 0, so I'll go to where x is -1 and where y is 0. And now at this point I can see I do have outputs repeating, but I do not have any inputs repeating, and that's what makes this set of ordered pairs represent a function. So lastly, let's state the domain and range here. So for the domain, we're going to list all possible inputs, and so reading those off, I can see that I have -2 as a possible input, -1, 1, and 4. So I'll list those off. -2, 1, 1, and -2, -1, 1, and 4. Okay. And again, those are just distinct numbers, so they're in a set separated by commas. The range, looking at all possible outputs, I have 0 as a possible output, I have 2 as a possible output, and then I have 7 as a possible output. Again, those are just the numbers 0, 2, and 7 inside set braces and separated by commas.